First 20 generations from Adam to Abraham. Adam. The man called Adam was created when God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Therefore, Adam was created from the soil, which is actually reflected in his name. The book of Genesis mentions 3 of Adam and Eve's children, Cain, Abel, and Seth. Adam lived 930 years. Seth. In the book of Genesis, he was the 3rd son of Adam and Eve. After their initial sons, Cain and Abel experienced tragedy in Cain's murder of Abel. Quite quickly thereafter, Eve and Adam conceived and bore Seth. In biblical stories, Seth lived to the age of 870 to 912. Enos. After Seth got his son Enos, people began to proclaim the name of God, which could be interpreted as a sign of their faith in God. Enos was ordained to the priesthood at age 134, according to Genesis. Enos died at the age of 905. Kenan. Kenan fathered Mahalalel when he was 70 years old. Other sons and daughters were born to Kenan before he died at 910 years of age. Mahalalel. He was one of many children of Kenan. When he was aged 54 to 60, Mahalalel married Dinah, the daughter of his paternal uncle Barachiel. At the age of 65, he fathered Jared. Thus all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Jared. When Jared was 162 years old, he became the father of Enoch. After the birth of Enoch, Jared lived another 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. Enoch. According to Genesis says, Enoch lived 365 years before he was taken by God. The text reads that Enoch walked with God, and he was no more, for God took him. Enoch was 65 years old when he became the father of Methuselah. Methuselah. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he fathered Lamech. All the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Lamech. Genesis 5:28 to 31 records that Lamech was 182 years old at the birth of Noah, and lived for another 595 years, attaining an age at death of 777 years, 5 years before the flood in the Masoretic chronology. Noah. Noah appears in Genesis 5:29 as the son of Lamech and 9th in descent from Adam. The story of the deluge, he is represented as the patriarch who, because of his blameless piety, he was chosen by God to perpetuate the human race after his wicked contemporaries had perished in the flood. Genesis 5:32 indicates that Noah became the father of Shem at the age of 500 years old. At the age of 950 years, Noah, who shepherded God's creatures through the flood, died. He left behind 3 sons. Shem. Genesis 11:10 records that Shem was 100 years old at the birth of Arphaxad, 2 years after the flood, and that he lived for another 500 years after this, making his age at death 600 years. Arphaxad. It is said that Arphaxad dwelt in Mesopotamia and is the forefather of Chaldeans. Arphaxad lived for 35 years and begat Salah. After Salah was born, he lived another 403 years and begat other sons and daughters before he finally rested at age 438 years. Salah. Salah is best known for being the ancestor of the Hebrew people. He is mentioned in the Bible in the book of Genesis, chapter 11. According to the Bible, Salah was the father of the Hebrew people. The death age of Salah is given as 433. Eber. Eber was a great-grandson of Noah's son Shem and the father of Peleg. Born when Eber was 34 years old, and of Joktan, he was the son of Salah, a distant ancestor of Abraham, according to the Hebrew Bible. Eber died at the age of 464. Peleg. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he fathered Reu, according to the Hebrew Bible. Peleg lived to the age of 239 years. Reu. At the age of 32, Reu begat Sarah, and lived another 207 years, and begat other sons and daughters. Reu died at the age of 239. Sarah. According to the Bible timeline chart, Sarah was born in 2185 BC at the city of Ur. His parent was Reu, and his son was named Nar. When Sarah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nar. He then lived another 200 years for a total of 230 years. Nar? He is said to have lived to the age of 148 years old and had a son, Terah, at the age of 29. He was also the grandfather of Abraham, Sarah, Nar, and Haran. Terah is mentioned as a son of Nar, the son of Sarah, descendants of Shem. He is said to have had 3 sons: Abram, better known by his later name Abraham, Haran, Nar, and 1 daughter, Sarah. Terah died at age 205. Abraham. According to the biblical book of Genesis, Abraham left Ur in Mesopotamia because God called him to find a new nation in an undesignated land that he later learned was Canaan. He obeyed unquestioningly the commands of God, from whom he received repeated promises and a covenant that his seed would inherit the land. Abraham dies at the age of 175.